Hello, Michael Mayo here. I'm so excited to be here commemorating Black Music Month with Mack Avenue Music Group. I've been steeped in Black music my entire life, and I think in preparing for this, one of the people that first came to mind was Bobby McFerrin because he's had such a huge impact on my life, and his overall sense of musicality, as well as obviously like the amazing things that he can do with his voice, really got into my ear at a young age and still to this day continue to amaze me. And I think for me, he's been one of those artists that has really changed the game for a lot of reasons. I think uh I'm a big believer in like the power of imagination and challenging norms and questioning. And I think that he does that in all of the music that he makes. One of the first things I heard of his was his solo vocal version of Blackbird, the Beatles tune, which is actually insane. It's like the Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Doo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. He has this whole thing, and it's amazing. And I heard it when I was like 16, and I'm like, what is this? And I think his spirit. I've never met him, unfortunately. One of these days, fingers crossed, Bobby, if you're out there, hello. I think one of the things that's always affected me most about his music is how free he seems. And he gives the impression that what he's doing is effortless, even though when you try to do it, it's really hard. And I think that I always found that to be really inspiring. And I think that I've tried to make a point of taking on that spirit of curiosity and play and exploration as sort of like the guiding forces of my own musicality, my own musical vision. And a lot of that I got from him. And I think that just Black music in general, specifically Black American music, um, sprouted forth from a desire for freedom. Like I talk about this with students all the time, that jazz in and of itself is a declaration of freedom. And so freedom is like, it is the heart of the music. And I think that I tend to gravitate towards music uh, that has an element of that. And Bobby is definitely one of those people that comes to mind uh, with with that idea in mind, just this idea of freedom. It's so important, and I find that it's one of those things that people often um, either forget about or don't prioritize because we get so like wrapped up in uh, learning all the tunes or learning all the right ways to do XYZ, when in reality it's like if you start from a place of curiosity and play and freedom and exploration, then everything that comes on top of that base is going to feel a lot more authentic. And that's one word I would use to describe him totally as a listener. He totally has an authentic um, expression. And I think it's something that we should all strive for. I definitely am trying to strive for that. It's a journey. um, but yeah. So I grew up in a really musical family. Both my parents have been professional musicians for a long time. Some of the first calls, studio session musicians, as well as touring. So I grew up going to shows with my dad playing with Earth, Wind, and Fire, my mom singing with Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross. Like the list goes on and on. And I think for me, I got to experience really high level music and art from a really young age. And I think that, when you're young, you don't question these things. So to me, it felt normal. I didn't realize how novel those experiences were until I got a little bit older. And I'm like, wow, I have such an appreciation for that time because it definitely affected me in a really positive way. I think in terms of like legacy, I know my parents didn't like set out with the intention of like having a kid that would necessarily be a professional musician or whatever, but I think for me it was always, I always knew that I wanted to sing. I always knew that I wanted to be a singer, but I also never had that doubt. I was fortunate enough to have two living examples of it being possible, so I was able to sort of trust in the process and just like let the growth happen naturally rather than just second guessing, is it even possible? So yeah, I'm definitely really thankful for them, because I wouldn't be doing any of what I'm doing without them. Yeah, so it is Pride Month now, and it's something that is really important to me increasingly over time. And just looking back, um, one particular queer artist that really sticks out to me is Billy Strayhorn, because before I ever knew um, about his orientation, I was already in love with his music. I mean, I learned Lush Life when I was 18, and it totally changed the game for me, both lyrically, melodically, harmonically. It's an incredible song, and all of his music is amazingly written. And to know that um, he was who he was when he was, and that inherently brought a particular set of challenges. That makes me have so much more respect for his overall musical vision, the fact that he was able to make it possible, the fact that Duke Ellington took him under his wing, and they made beautiful music together. I think is a testament to the fact that his musical spirit was so strong. So Billy Strayhorn is definitely on my list of favorite composers, and it's cool to have that extra type of appreciation for him this month. I think Bobby is a testament to uh, the power of energy, and the power that somebody's energy can have on an audience. I mean, there are videos of him. I remember in college, I actually this is such like fanboy nerd vibe today, but in college, I dedicated a full month of like Facebook posts to Bobby McFerrin. So like every day, I would post a different concert of his, or a different clip of his. And there's this one particular clip where it's just him solo in front of an audience, and he teaches the audience the major pentatonic scale, and just like has them do all this stuff based on where he's standing on the stage. So he'll jump a little bit, and then they'll change notes, like and based on where he's standing, the audience knows what to sing. I think the fact that he's able to engage with people in that way, with something as like seemingly abstract as like a cappella vocals, is a testament to the fact that like it doesn't really take that much to create something meaningful. It doesn't really take like a certain number of elements to create something that people will latch onto. I think it's a lot more about um, energy. And I think the fact that he was able to have a number one single just with his own voice is a testament to that exact thing. The power of energy can't be overstated.